You sit at your desk and suddenly the tools you use every day start doing the work for you, writing the emails, building the spreadsheets, parsing the reports. For many professionals, this creates an immediate creeping anxiety. If a machine can execute your daily tasks, are you interchangeable? That fear is backed by data. According to the UK's Office for National Statistics, 38% of adults believe artificial intelligence brings more risks than benefits to their daily lives, a sentiment fueled largely by the threat of being replaced. This chart contrasts public anxiety against actual corporate behavior. 35% of UK businesses have adopted AI to improve internal operations. Now, look at this flat line tracking workforce headcount. These businesses report zero change to employment numbers. They are automating tasks, but retaining people. This flat line reveals that we've misjudged the threat.
We tend to view a job as a simple bundle of tasks, assuming that if a machine checks the boxes, the worker becomes redundant. The data suggests that work involves a layer of value that pure execution cannot touch. To understand why headcounts are holding steady, we have to separate capability from responsibility. Capability is the mechanical act of generating a draft or running a calculation. Responsibility is the human burden of holding the ultimate liability for the result. AI functions strictly within the realm of capability. It can produce an answer, but it cannot stand behind it. This creates a crisis for anyone who has historically defined their professional worth through the volume of tasks they complete. Competing with a machine on pure execution is a losing strategy. The machine will always be faster. But the machine cannot be accountable. Accountability is the true professional vacuum in the modern workplace, and it is the space humans must occupy to remain relevant. This model deconstructs a professional role. The bottom half represents mechanical labor, small moving blocks. The top half is the solid foundation of human responsibility. When AI enters, a digital wave dissolves that mechanical layer, leaving the foundation intact. Algorithms simply cannot process what sits on top. A machine cannot hold reputational risk. It cannot make the final ethical call on a sensitive project, and it lacks the capacity to build trust to sustain a client relationship. Survival in this new landscape requires professionals to claim the role of outcome owner, moving their primary focus from the checklist to the consequences. Claiming that ownership requires a specific behavioral strategy. We call it the Become framework, built on 3 essential pillars: direction, discernment, and discipline. The first pillar is direction. AI has no intrinsic purpose, it only has processing power. Humans must provide the strategic compass, defining the why and the where before the machine ever begins the how. The second pillar is discernment. Large language models are prone to bias and hallucinations. The professional's job is to judge these outputs, knowing exactly when a machine's suggestion lacks the nuance required for a real-world decision. The third pillar is discipline. As automation makes work easier, the temptation is to tune out. We have to fiercely protect our human attention span to ensure we don't outsource the actual thinking process to an algorithm. This framework ensures that technology remains a subordinate tool. It prevents automation from eroding the very judgment that makes a professional valuable. Imagine a project manager using AI to rapidly parse data sets and generate draft outlines for a new proposal. In this scenario, they have delegated the capabilities to the machine to save hours of labor. Then comes the critical moment of human retention. The manager notices a sterile, machine-generated point that might offend a sensitive client. They override the output and recalibrate the tone using their personal knowledge of the relationship. That manager's market value isn't found in the initial data parsing. It exists entirely in that moment of recalibration and the ownership of the final outcome. Artificial intelligence functions as a high-performance engine, but it is fundamentally incapable of being the driver. The professional future belongs to those who use AI as a lever to elevate their potential. Viewing it as a crutch to replace your own effort only invites redundancy. Every day, you face a choice regarding which tasks to delegate and which responsibilities to fiercely protect. A secure professional future requires a deliberate, intensified focus on the qualities machines cannot replicate:
success depends on being more human on purpose.